We are right in time for our next speakers. And you have for sure already noticed that this is, as far as I know, am I right, the only talk which is held by two persons, right? I am really impressed because filling 12 minutes just like alone is a really complex thing of time management, especially when the topic is complex. It's not as easy as it seems, and these two manage to fill the 12 hours, even facing the challenge that they have to like switch and share all the content. So I'm really like curious what this is gonna look like, and yeah, I think we can start. There is not much more to say. I hope you enjoy the good, the bad, and the funny with Paulette and Thorsten.
Thank you, Anna. Well, we'll just start. It's a challenge for us, 12 minutes, so I don't want to lose that much time. Hi, I'm Paulette. I'm responsible for online at aktuell.
My name is Thorsten. I'm responsible for the software development at aktuell, and I'm interested in AI since my computer studies decades ago.
Well, I like all the new trends. So I also have my Alexa, and I like that with new technology, everything makes easier, efficient. Sometimes also certain things happen that's not that good. Like maybe you already heard once Alexa throwing her own party. Well, that's probably can suck, right? But yeah, let's go to the serious stuff. How does AI work? We just will tell you really short, really easy, and everyone will understand probably. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, just this short dive into the history of AI. Computers intelligent? Yeah, maybe not. Everything started in the last century, around 1950. Yeah, Turing with his so-called Turing test. AI as a part of computer science. We all know these supercomputers beating and defeating champions in chess, and not long ago in Go. And yeah, but what is it? What is intelligent? What is an intelligent machine?
Well, we have weak and we have strong AI. But what's the difference? The easiest way to tell is with examples. So something like picture recognition. I will do it like this.
It's weak.
Okay. Everyone knows the Terminator. It's a pretty old movie, but everyone knows it, right?
Maybe stronger.
Another movie, Chappie.
Even stronger?
Okay. Does strong AI exist?
Okay. my part now. No, currently not really, and maybe it's more a question of science and philosophy, and I'm not an expert in this field, but currently I think it's common sense that we only have weak AI. And what is weak AI, or so-called artificial narrow intelligence? It's just models or systems just prepared to solve one task pretty good, often much better than humans are able to do it, but they can just do this small part. They are modeled exactly for one problem solving, and that's it. Strong AI, yeah. General AI, human AI, emotions, consciousness.
Okay.
Another field.
Okay, so we get it. Well, we need to go to the next one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. What's the current state of AI? It started decades ago. Developers like me know the traditional way to solve software problems. Usually you have data and you program a model, the logic, and then you have results. That's the traditional way. Machine learning works different. There you have data and you have results, so-called training data. And what comes out is a model which you can just use for further recognitions and solutions. So That's exactly what we are doing now. It's a little bit like children learning to term things. So now,
and then recognize stuff.
exactly. So machine learning, okay. AI is currently machine learning, and machine learning is more or less currently working with artificial neural networks. So it's a little bit like, yeah, our knowledge about the way human brain processes information transferred to a mathematical model, very old theory, actually. Why it is now so successful? Yeah, it has a lot to do with data. We have now big data. We have access to a huge amount of data, and we have very fast processors. They could process in parallel so many operations that we are now really able to have real applications using these old models.
That's me, probably. Yeah, well, here you see a living room. It's not my living room. But here you see a few examples how we already are in AI. So we have our smart home, maybe. We have our Alexa, I have one. If you like music, maybe also you have your Spotify. And Spotify is really interesting when it's regarding AI. Because they're really far, they do a lot of with AI. And, well, you will explain, right?
I'm not a fan of Alexa, but I really like Spotify. And what always thrilled me is the way Spotify gives me new recommendations. And so I just took a deeper look, researched a little bit, and what they are doing. It's not so complicated. They just use different approaches, like behavior analyzing. They use text analyzing of blogs. Of course, they analyze audios, and they put it all together. So modern complex systems are just built up on building blocks to achieve even better solutions.
Oh, wow. Oh, we're quick. Well, yeah, I know, we don't have that much time. So, we also, of course, use AI at work. Well, a few boring stuff is maybe using your email, your spam filters there, maybe also the chatbots you use to be more efficient. But we also use AI, right?
Yep. We have our small little AI project called Viper. Our business is just to publish, to distribute PR content, and the main part of it is just to categorize text, other kind of media stuff. And of course, this is a good example how to use machine learning categorizing texts. Yeah, it's a pretty awesome project, and I think it's a pretty nice machine we have there.
Yeah, but why does it work? It works because we have a lot of data, right? We have really big websites with a lot of press releases where we get the data off, right?
Yeah, exactly. As I mentioned it before, the amount of data is really important, and of course the quality of data as well. Yeah, that's maybe somehow the good part. And now we're coming to Star Wars. Of course, it has a dark.
I like this picture. Yeah. Well, we heard a lot of plus regarding AI, and from my perspective, there are really a lot of plus. But of course, with the plus, you also have the negative parts, and there you have the quality of data. How is the quality of data? When we talk about biased data, do we have a problem there with AI or not?
Sure we have, because I think the biases we have and the way we collecting data just will transport it to our models. So, yeah. Do you have an example for it?
Yeah, of course, I always have examples. So, well, we work at News Aktuell. Well, we have light, thank you. And our IT department, we have an internal IT department, always needs new people, so if someone is interested in IT. But we, of course, we have, as a lot of other companies, a lot of men there, and not that much women there. But for example, we would have an AI tool that would help us with the whole procedure for job procedure. So we would put in this AI tool, we'll put all of the data we have.
From our
really good IT people.
Yeah. But
A lot of men.
Yeah.
So we put the data in there, and what's the result?
Yeah, I think it's clear.
A lot of men, and probably not that many women that are asked to come for an interview. Well, that's pretty bad because we want more women in our department, right?
Yeah.
So here you can see that if you only use history data and the data is not objective or it's not that open as you may like, then already you have a problem before you start with the whole process of AI. And there is a question like fairness. What is fair? Discrimination. Can you tell something about that?
Yeah, in all fields you have the same problem. No? It's just it's not only a question of the data, it's maybe as well a question of the people working in these areas and their biases and their somehow hidden racism and so on. So it's even the responsibility for all the people working in these fields, and yeah, maybe it's just more to I know IT guys, and it's really fascinating to work in this area, but maybe we have to take care more about our responsibility because our impacts are getting much bigger and bigger in the society. So.
Well, I have a question for you, but maybe also later for the public here. If people can't be objective, how can an AI tool be objective? It's part of, well, the process.
I don't have an answer to it.
You don't have an answer.
But maybe someone in the audience.
Well, this was our presentation. We were pretty quick, I think.
Much bigger than we thought, huh?
Yeah. Thank you, and maybe you can give us some feedback what you think.
Thank you very much for being here. Can you hear? Does this work? I think it does. Thank you so much. And also thank you for the special effect. Did you notice that just when they were talking about the dark side, it was getting dark inside? So yeah, well prepared.
We did it with AI.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
All right. So do you want this question round also to be an answer round about the question
everything you guys
just
want.
mentioned?
We're here to answer questions, right? Well, maybe you start first.
So if you have any questions or also any answers to the question about objective answers of AIs.
Yeah, that's exactly the interesting point I find. What actually is objectivity? Would you say objectivity is just a consensus of all the people currently agreeing on something? And if there is maybe there's a machine's own definition of what's objective, and could we actually say objectivity is just a matter of the people that sit around the table?
That's really interesting, and I think you're right. It depends on the people. It also depends on the time. Maybe in 5 years we think about totally different, and also when you think about culture, and there's like the topic fairness. What's fair? Fairness is different in every culture. So how do they see AI? When is discrimination? When it's not discrimination? So that's really interesting for us to see how these models are built, and at the end, you know, are they the same as we are? Because I don't think we can be objective. I think every person puts people in certain categories, and well, the tool does as well, right? So, yeah.
Could a machine be objective if the creators are not? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe in the far future.
Yeah, so I have a question. Thank you very much for your talk. Apart from the discrimination, what dangers or possible dangers do you see in your field, and as you are working for News Aktuell, what is possibly your influence what can you do about the data you're collecting, and yeah, actually, what is your influence as you are working there?
It's for me. Yeah.
Both of you.
Just
No, well, it's your Viper, it's your baby, right? Just tell something about Viper and how it will efficiently.
Yeah, it's bringing in AI technologies to companies is not so easy, because usually you have people there doing exactly the same thing for ages, and they are really fast and just have fear that their job will be gone in the near future. They think it would be just a replacement for them, and maybe I'm too optimistic, but I think it's I think that some people try to change a little bit the term artificial intelligence more to augmented intelligence. So I think this will be hopefully the way that we are getting better, or that just stupid work is, we have less stupid work and could concentrate on the real funny and interesting things. But yeah, of course, there's fear. Yeah.
I can ask, well, I have something as well. I asked in our company, in our department, I'm part of the marketing department, how could AI like change how we work, what we do? And really everyone in the department said, well, we could be more efficient. It could help us do certain things we maybe don't like. We don't need that much, we do some things during the day, we do automatic. If AI can do that for us, and we can really focus on the cool stuff, the new hype things, the trends, that would really help us also in our time management. And there's no fear, I think, if you like develop with time. If it's like Thorsten said, you stand still, of course, at the end, maybe you don't have any job anymore. But I think also without AI, you'll have that problem. Or maybe, you just need to focus and be agile, right?
And I think it's of course we have maybe a new level with AI, but for me it's just every step in technology in the last centuries was or changed society and the way we work. So AI is the next step. Just the next step.
It's just a disruption.
Maybe I missed that part, but I totally got what you were saying about the good and the bad. What about the funny?
Well, the funny part, we thought we would be more funny. I'm so sorry. Yeah, that's why we did it together. We thought it didn't work today. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, but you're absolutely right. We shortened a little bit our presentation, and yeah. But I waited for this.
I definitely
question.
loved your conversation here on stage, but I was just expecting something like AI related to, makes sense.
Yeah, of course, there are a little, as well as we have really bad examples how it works. There are, I think Paulette mentioned one with the Alexa one, and there, of course, there are as well funny examples in image recognition, where it was just crazy what the machine just found out on an image. I remember one case. Oh, okay.
Thank you so much for being here, for sharing this with us. We have some bottles of wine also for the two of you, for sure, of course. I mean, you can share both of them when you're into sharing, and I'm sure you will enjoy them together. I also hope that you enjoy the rest of the event. This was the very last talk on this stage, but there are more talks going on, and also after the last slot, so after the next and the last talk, there will be a small surprise downstairs. There's an artist invited playing for us for half an hour. They are really cool, so definitely make sure that you stay and that you get the most out of it. And yes, thank you also to you for being here, for being interested. And as I said, just have fun. That's the most important thing about it. And yeah, grab some more beer, some more food, whatever you can find. And I'm sure we will see each other later on the party or wherever. Thank you.